And if you're not the one paying attention, that's true. If you're not paying attention to what you're paying attention to, then that's true. It's what you'll be experiencing. And you can deny yourself and deny yourself as long as you keep choosing the same thing, judging by appearances, because how can you change anything if you don't have a different idea? Because you're told that all the help you need is nearer than hands and feet. So it must be a thinking process, and that's exactly what it is. And what are you thinking about? That's all you need to know. What are you actually thinking about? Because if you were paying attention to what you were thinking about, you'd probably change most of it, wouldn't you?
You would. And I want to add to that. You asked the question, what are you thinking about? We've often said, and we'll say it at this moment, you're always thinking ahead of your evidence. If you can catch yourself thinking, you can know what's going to be manifested in your life in the next few moments, the next week, the next year, if you stay on that track. So ask yourself, is my current thoughts, is this what I want to manifest out picture in my world? If it isn't, revise it, change it, and begin thinking upon what it is that you want to manifest in your life.
Yeah, be it, do it, have it. Yeah. See, you're given to dream, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you're given to dream. Well, start dreaming. Yeah. Not nightmares. That's what most people are playing with, nightmares. But you can dream the dream. All you have to do, just sit still and close your eyes and dream the dream. That's all you have to do. Feel it. Really feel it. Get the feeling of what you're thinking about. Get the feeling. Then you know what to expect because you've asked believing. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
It is. You know, you said dream the dream, and I just started smiling because there's no limit to what we can dream about. And as you say, then start being about. And once people understand that, see, you're looking at your own self-imposed limitations, as Mr. Lindell often say, all denial is self-denial. If you start dreaming a dream, everything starts with that dream, and you start owning that dream, and you start living from that dream. I know that you think that it's impossible right now, but if you just listen to what it is that we're saying, and you start moving in that direction, seeing your dreams as possible, and then start living from that dream, you're going to manifest it. And I'm not talking about pipe dreams or something you really don't believe, but you say, well, let me just say if I can manifest $1 million, but you don't even believe you can manifest $1 million. Something that you can hold on to, something that you can believe in, something you can feel. As Mr. Lindell stated and as Neville stated, feeling is the secret.
That's it. That's it. What do you feel like? Guy goes, oh, don't ask now. But you see, the problem is now's the only time there is. So if not now, when?
Yeah.
When are you going to be ready to accept? You see, it can't be given you until you ask for it.
Yeah.
What are you asking for? Because that's what you're getting. And if you don't like what you're getting, then you're asking wrong. You're given. It's already a given, not something you're waiting for, not something you're trying to be good for, because forget it. Get over it. You're not worthy. Not one is worthy. It's all worthy by grace. And that's what you can expect. That's what you can count on. But in the meantime, you're still living by your own inner conversations. So be sure what you're actually thinking feelingly about, because that is going to be your everydayness experiencing down the line until you change your mind to change your world. And as Jesus told you, he of himself could do nothing. It was the Father within him who did everything. And he's telling you that if that's the way it is with him, then that's certainly the way it is with his creation. Wouldn't you say?
I would say. You know, and you asked the question, what are they asking for? And then you told them, you said, listen, your asking is whatever you're thinking feelingly about. So he says, be mindful of what you're giving your attention to, because that's what's going to be outpictured in your world. Understand your predominant thoughts is your acts. It's not when you say, God, give me $1 million, or God, take this away from me. When you say, God, give me $1 million, for example, what you're saying is that you don't have $1 million. So your acts at that point is, I don't have. So the only thing you can produce in your acts of not having is more not having. When you want $1 million, then you embody the person who can manifest and become a millionaire. You start living from that state. Whatever it is that you truly want, start thinking from that state. That's your acts.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything. I mean, you're not really putting out all that much energy just to sit and be still.
Mm.
Think upon these things that are lovely and of good report. I mean, certainly you can achieve that bit of work to do to just see your world better than the best you've yet seen it. And it is your world. You understand? What you're experiencing is coming through you, not to you, even though you accept it from without, but it was the thought that made it first, and now you got it. And you get it. If you feel you got it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
It is. And whatever you feel you got it. And he stated earlier, good, bad, or indifferent. Many of you are feeling bad continuously, and what do you keep manifesting? Bad continuously. So actually, you're very successful in your manifestation of feeling bad because that's what you're giving your attention to.
That's it. Yeah, that's absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's exactly how it works. What you think upon grows. What are you thinking upon? And that's it. That's just it. This one woman talked to me for 15 minutes telling me the terrible things that was happening to a friend of hers. And I said, why are you repeating the terrible things? Why? What purpose does that have, telling me about the terrible things that your friend is experiencing? You see, we always help aid those along who are destroying themselves.
Yeah.
And so we're guilty of that by, giving out information that's not really necessary. And then people think someone has something wrong and they start telling everybody, and then everybody tells somebody else, and now you've got a whole group of people who all think you're down. And then, of course, that'll help you be down comfortably as you can anyway. But it's as you think you are. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
It is, and I want to touch on what you just said because it's so powerful, and I want the listeners to hear what's been said. You said a lady came to you, and she was talking about the distresses and the hardships of her friend. And you said, why are you repeating that? Why are you? And so in a group of, let's say my group is 6,000 people. In a group of 6,000 people, you share a hardship. Now you got 6,000 people sending energy to that hardship. And you wonder why your situation hasn't changed. I'm not trying to discourage you from telling, but my goal for you in this talk, our goal for you, is that you begin to revise what it is that you're constantly giving your attention to. And as you do that, it's going to change. But if you feed it out to 4,000 people, 5,000 people, 10,000 people, all of those people are sending that same type of energy to that problem, and the only thing it really does is magnify that problem.
That's it. That's it. And you know what? All of those people think they're doing exactly the right thing.
Yeah.
In sending that negativity out. They think they're helping the cause. And they are, but not in the way they think they are.
Yeah.
You should just see everybody operating in their world of experiencing, choosing what they want better than the best, and then turn and talk to yourself. Because that's the one you have to impress, is yourself. Because as you're impressed, you express. And if you let other people impress you with their ideas and attitudes, you'll be experiencing their ideas and attitudes. It's time for you to take charge of yourself and choose this day, because that's what God gave you to do. Choose this day. And he's assuming that if you have the choice to choose, that you'll choose what you want. But if you're not paying attention, you can be choosing what you don't want. And that's what we're here to help you with in your experiencing, because it's as you think you are. We're not telling you what to think. We're telling you that as you think, you are. And you're the only one responsible for how you think, unless you allow others to press upon you their ideas. And maybe they have, and you're suffering them at the moment.
Yeah.
But you can change your mind and change your world. Isn't that so?
It is so. And we call that revision. And I want to add to what you said a moment ago. You said, listen, when somebody gives you that report, what you see for them is lovely and good report. So what I'm going to do for the people that see those reports, see lovely and good report on the behalf of the person that may be experiencing, because some people are babes when it comes to these principles and so forth. So they don't know not to keep giving energy to the things that they don't want to manifest. So do like the man that Neville talked about when he heard the report about the little child and they said the child had cancer. He listened and acted like he was acknowledging his wife, but he was revising the story all the time where he saw the little girl healthy and normal, and that was the end result. So when you're hearing someone, correct them, privately. Don't bust them out in public of 6,000 people, but, privately, if that's your friend, let them know they need to be mindful of their conversations, but see lovely and good report on their behalf.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you are seeing, but seeing what?
Yeah.
See, what are you looking for? Because that's what's looking for you. So in other words, if your conversations is negative, then negative is looking for you.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is that as long as you're in that state of mind, it will find you. And you can have all sorts of problems, but you also have the ability, and it's not even ability really, you have to change your mind to change your world. It's not anybody else you're dealing with at all. You're dealing only with what you're talking to yourself about. And that you can correct. And you can do so, and see so for yourself so, at least once in a while, just to know that you do know, because you do know, you just don't recognize what you already know. Isn't that so?
Yeah, you said a mouthful, but you're absolutely correct. And I want to add to what you just said. You said, listen, and I want to go back to the simplicity of what was said. You said, change your mind, change your world. Now, many of you are going to say, because I've heard you say it, I can't change my mind. It's nonsense. You do it all day long, whether it be what you're going to have for dinner, what you're going to wear in a given day, or am I going to take a shower, or am I just going to bathe off? All these things are choices that we make, and we change our mind constantly throughout the day. We call that change. It can be revision. It can call it change. You can call it forgiveness, whatever. But you're changing your mind all day long. What we're doing is asking you to be more conscious of what it is that you're giving your attention to, and if it's not what you want, change it.
Yeah. We have the power. That's what we're operating. Good, bad, or indifferent. We're operating the power. Now, you decide how you're operating it. If you're enjoying life, then you're operating it properly. If you're not enjoying life, then you have a flaw somewhere there that you're not paying attention to directly, but indirectly. And that indirectly is just as, well, is creative. because your say is creative. You were given to choose the day, and that is what you'll think feelingly about, because you do have the permission and have the authority and the dominion to do what you want to do. Do it. That's all you're being told to do. You have the power. There's only one power. There's only God. You see, God claims he's all things to all. So let him be all things to all. And then everything works good, doesn't it?
It does. It does. You said that we're given to change and we're operating in one power. And I know that we had lost a beloved country singer recently, said that she was dealing with some, various distresses and so forth. And we lost her. But many of you are thinking to yourself that, I'm dealing with a chemical imbalance and so forth. And these things are true. Your chemical and electrical pulses. If you continuously give chemical charge to, let's say, negative thinking, pretty soon you're going to be dealing with an imbalance, because that's going to be your predominant way of thinking. And it's important for you to take charge of your life. I know that many of us, may use medications and things like that. I'm not discounting those things. I'm not telling you not to use those things. What I'm saying is be mindful of what it is that you're giving your attention to and start leaning towards lovely and good report. If you do that, you're going to change your chemical imbalance and it's going to get more leveled off. The problem is we think certain thoughts, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed. Only thing you're going to get with I'm depressed is more depression. And you're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And then it's going to require medication. Then it's going to require, other means of intervention and so forth. But if you start saying, let me find something in the day that I can give thanks for, something in the day that I can rejoice in, something in the day that I can laugh about, and you continuously allow that to be your pattern, your imbalance will change.
Yeah, it certainly will. You're told to lighten up. You are the light of your world. That means that you're the one doing the creating from your creative choosing. Creation's finished. What you're doing is choosing from the created finish. And it has everything. And all you have to do is just recognize any certain idea and flow with it, because it'll draw to itself everything necessary to build the idea that you're holding in your mind. But that's it. You must hold the idea yourself.
Absolutely.
That's all you're required to do, is to stand and see the victory. If you can do that, then you have it. If you can't, well, try again and again. But it isn't trying, it's doing. You're told do a thing. It didn't say try. It's not telling you to try these things, because you're given to do it. So you can do it. Do it. See the results for yourself, first person, right?
Absolutely. And I was thinking about Dr. Norman Cousin, who was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And what he did was he set himself apart, went into a hotel, took all these funny movies and DVDs and just started watching them and just started laughing. And, of course, he was eating and things like this. I don't want you to think he was just laughing alone. He was taking care of his nourishment and things like that. But he got himself into a different energy state. And because he got into that energy state, it helped with the healing of his cancer. And we have to be mindful of our energy state. What are we giving our attention to? That's energy. And if you're giving your energy to negativity all day long, it's going to do something to your body. It can't not do so. So just be mindful, as Mr. Lindell so often says, be mindful of what it is that you're giving your attention to.
Yeah, that's it. What has your attention has your life, so it'd be wise to pay attention to what you're giving it to, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all it is, just keeping it simple. I mean, we said enough here to give them everything that they need to focus on to change their mind, change their world. And everybody wants to change something. I remember Neville saying that several times, that he never met a man who didn't want to change something. what you're given that you can change it. That's the message. That's the essence of that message. You can change it. It's not how strong you are. And even there, you're told, let the weak man say, I'm strong. So you're given to choose this day in any form, fashion that you want to. And it is your potential to do so. So do so and see so for yourself so. Isn't that so?
That's so. And, you said it. It's potential. But if potential isn't acted upon, it remains nothing more than potential. I see a lot of people with great potential living on the street. I mean, brilliant people, homeless, because they had the potential. Their family would say, that guy is so smart. That woman is so smart, but she didn't do anything with it. And that's the key. You have to do something. Even the most unwise person, if he or she acts, is counted a genius.
Yeah, but then too, there again, it's an attitude. I know of two people who came to this country with absolutely nothing. They took janitorial jobs because that was all they could get at that time. Two of these people were both doctors in their country, but they gave that up to come here and be a janitor to change their life, and they have done so. But you see, they made the choice. They decided. And because they made a choice and decided, they made it. But you have to stay on the choice that you make. You can't waver back and forth, because that's the statement that the double-minded man does nothing. You have to be single-minded to be strong, and be single-minded, be successfully minded, because that's how you make it, isn't it?
It is, and I love your story, and I wanted to add one of my own. When I was a kid, I guess about 16, 17 years old, we worked at a hospital. And working at that hospital, we worked, young men, we worked in the dish room. And so we were washing, cleaning dishes, and make sure that the fork, silver, and all those things were taken care of. Two men came in and started working in the dish room. They were from Ethiopia. One's name was Freddie, and the other one was Mahmoud. And these two guys came in working in the dish room. Now, these guys were very intelligent, but we just saw as kids, these two guys from Africa working alongside us. They came in and started working in the dish room. Probably 6 months later, they were working as orderlies. They were doing, different things. They got promoted. And as kids, we were still in the dish room. They came with a vision. And because they came with their vision and they stuck with it, they were able to make a change. Many of us stayed in that position for years to come because we didn't see change possible. They did.
That's it. That's it. As you think, you are.
Yeah.
That's as simple as you can make it. But it does tell the whole story, doesn't it? As you think you are. I mean, if you wanted an easy solution for change, there it is. Just as you think you are. If you want to be different, think different. It's as simple as that. I mean, it had to be simple because he's dealing with people all the way down the scale. Everyone. So young. In fact, the younger people now are actually getting closer to the idea than the older people, because they've given up, and they wouldn't admit it. They wouldn't even think it to themselves, but they have given up, and that's what you don't do. You don't give up, but it does happen. But everything is forgiven. Everything. Because he told you to do your bidding, and you did your bidding. And if it doesn't qualify you to go to heaven, you're already there if you just recognize it. Isn't that so?
It is so. And the wonderful thing is, Father says he lose not one, so everybody gets in.
Yeah. That's it. The thing of it is that some of them get there much quicker.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know how many lifetimes I've had already. But there's nothing transforming in death, so that means you just keep going and going. And since there's nothing transforming in death, if you die to ding dong, as I said, you get to play it again. And it's only corrected when you correct it, because it's only changed when you change your mind. So there, you'll just keep running on regular forever until you get to high tech, right?
Absolutely. And it may start off with a message as simple as this message here. You hear it for the first time, and it may be, oh, I can do this. Before we never thought that we could even think it possible that we could make the change. But now you hear a message such as this, and you say, I can do this.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do have to say, or you won't.
It's true. It took me years to be able to say I can do this, though.
Yeah, but don't you see? You've switched lanes right there.
Yeah.
You can do this. You can turn around and change your mind in a moment, and you do it so. Yeah, like you said, you said a while ago, every day you're changing your mind all the time. But why not make it really count? That's what gets me, is that they can see that they're changing their mind, but they can't change it because it seems like too big for them. And it is too big for them. Even Jesus said so. He said, I of myself can do nothing. The Father within me does all the work. So where does that leave us? If Jesus can't do it, then that means we can't either. So you're told, let go and let God. And that's all you have to do. And believe me, it's so relieving, so relaxing, so pleasant. And to do so, to know so, because you're given to know so, and you can know so, but you must attempt to at least do so once in a while. Because until you do, your life just goes on the way it's going on. Everything, going along with what's going on. And if that's not satisfying, you can change it, can't you?
You can, and you said it is too big for us. The how is too big for us. Our only thing that we need to do is get a vision of the end and begin living from that vision, begin feelingly occupying that state. And as we do it, the how will be manifested. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, a lot of problems that I've manifested, multiple hundreds of millions of dollars for my company, I didn't have the solution, but I knew the source who did. And so the only thing I saw was this problem, if it's really a problem, will be solved. Not the know-how. I didn't know how many times, but I knew that it was going to be solved. And so in releasing it, as you state, let go and let God, with the how, manifestation 100% of the time took place. So in closing, what would you say to the listener about revision?
Revise. That's it. See it differently, and you'll experience it differently. Feel after him, and you'll find him. You being, doing, having what you're looking for, because that's what's looking for you. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it?
It says it all. And you really even can't add anything to it. This was a deep talk. We went into a lot. I hope that this is not a one-time listening for those who are listening, that you would go back and listen to this multiple times, because if you truly want to understand revisioning, at the basic level, it's here.
I listen to the tapes every day. I mean, because I'm changing them, but I have the CDs, and I listen to the CDs because, you see, I don't remember all of this right up front. And I'm hearing some of the things for the first time. When I give talks, I don't know what I'm going to say when I get up there. I have no idea at all. I step up there. All I had to do was show up. I was told that I didn't have to prepare anything, just show up and be willing. And that's all it is. You're not worthy, but you can be willing. And that's all you're required to do is to be willing. Isn't that it?
It is it. It is it. Just being open to the message, whatever that message is. When we start these talks, only thing we have is a title. So it's not like we've rehearsed anything, that we've talked about anything. We just have a title, and we go from there.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because, look, you're on all the time. If you want to remember something, remember that. You're on all the time. And everything you say is taken in a culmination to make up your everydayness life. So if you want changes, it's with you, but you have to do it, right?
Absolutely. Well, sir, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, it has. Always is. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
People just want to know what you did to be successful.
The 4 CDs that I have out there, it's all there. If you took any one of the CDs and actually followed through on what you understood there, you could change your mind, change your world. All you have to do is just listen to the CDs. It's always reiteration and reiteration.
I want to go back to the 4 CD set. Go to metaphysicalarttheater.com. We can only mail in the U.S. right now, but for those who are outside the U.S., we can send you a digital bundle with everything, so you'll get the enjoyment without waiting for it in the mail. Matter of fact, those who are in the U.S., if you would rather have the digital copies, we can do that as well. metaphysicalarttheater.com.